Hi guys and welcome back. This is Sharisi and today we have a really exciting and long awaited for me at least video today, and we are going to be finally showcasing the Copperdale Festival Mod Pack. And when I say mod pack, I mean it, okay? Because it's not going to be one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but seven plus mods I have put together to give Copperdale the festival that she rightfully deserves. So, real quick, we're going to be starting off by introducing the family that are going to be used to show off this mod showcase, as I typically do. So, here we have the Olivers, and they are currently okay. They are currently visiting. Oh, okay, not right now. Chill out. Okay, so they are currently visiting the world of Copperdale because Layla here wanted her children and her family to experience the Copper Moon Festival. Okay, she's originally from Copperdale. The rest of them are not, but this is an annual festival that the town looks forward to and loves deeply in their heart. So she just wants all of her kids to have a chance to experience that. So over here we have the eldest son, and his name is Noel Oliver. He is actually Vincent's child and Layla's stepson. Also, over here, the girl who just walked past us is actually Constance, and neither of these are her parents, but Vincent is actually her uncle. I imagine she's like the cousin who's like an only child and always spends time at your house, you know? So she like might as well be a sister because she's always here. She's gonna go play dolls with This is what I mean. This is the energy. She's gonna go play dolls with Kieran down here. Over here, just to introduce Kieran. Kieran is Layla and Vincent's biological son. So it's the son they have together, and it is Noel's half brother. And then currently, oh no, they're down here alone. Okay, but okay, so a second. Currently, Layla is actually pregnant with triplets, okay, and three boys, and she's in her second trimester. So, unfortunately, she and Vincent are going to stay back today, or be staying back tomorrow, because she can't be doing it like that at the festival while everyone goes out, okay? And one thing I feel I should mention is that he has the hots for his mom. I don't know. Noel likes Noel not likes MILFs, I guess. I don't know. He's extremely attracted to his stepmother. Um, I'm a I'm a I'm gonna leave that alone, okay? But in a nutshell, this is the family, okay? Noel just wants to meet the MILFs of the world. Layla wants to be a baby factory. Vincent wants to fulfill Layla's dreams of being a baby factory. Kieran just wants to talk to people and have a good time, to be for real. Constance over here wants to giggle while the rest of the world burns. She just loves the chaos, and that's the family in a nutshell. But here, if we go ahead and look past Noel's um hormones, I guess we could go ahead and see this moodlet right here, as it is now time to go ahead and showcase our very first mod of the mod pack, and that is going to be the holiday traditions. So down here, everyone in the household has this trait which says Festival Eve from Copper Moon Festival. Noel's practically bouncing with excitement and anticipation for the chance to enjoy the annual Copper Moon Festival. Citizens of Copperdale find no greater joy than that in celebrating their town history. And that is because I have marked the calendar for tomorrow to be the day of the Copper Moon Festival, and you go ahead and see it right here. This is a custom icon I have from another mod, but as part of this mod, I have gone ahead and created 5 holiday traditions for you to go ahead and add the Copper Moon Festival to your calendar. And also, this is a good way to view a lot of the things, or the major points of the festival, I guess you can say. So our traditions for the day are going to be to play crystal or coal, to get our fortune told, to unlock a mystery chest, to play or complete the story of the ancient Womp Womps, which is Frank's Footsteps, and to attempt to play the Frog Prince tabletop RPG. So these are the main points of the festival in which we will be seeing tomorrow. As I said previously, today is the festival's eve, so it's not actually going to be starting until around 5 p.m. tomorrow, the next day. So now we currently have some time to kill before the start of the actual festival. I'm just going to keep playing with the family as they enjoy their vacation here, and I will pick back up off tomorrow. We'll be actually setting off to enjoy the Copper Moon Festival. Okay, so as planned, we have everyone here and we are officially here in game at the Copperdale or the Copper Moon Festival. So we are here at 5 because I imagine this is kind of when the festival would start. It would be like a late afternoon to evening festival that would go on for 2 days. Which brings me to the first mod I will be going over, which is the holiday traditions. We kind of started on this earlier, but as you can see over here, we have all of the holiday traditions that are going to be included in this day that you can go ahead and celebrate here at the Copper Moon Festival specifically. You'll see that this sim, Kieran, actually loves the Frog Prince tradition, and that's because he is a child. That is a game only children can play, and he ignores the Crystal or Coal game. Now, children can play that Crystal or Coal game, but I do have it ignored for them because it is involving Sims betting simoleons. So I didn't want to restrict it so they can't play it, but yeah, it's crossed off. And for the teens to adults, they all will be ignoring the Frog Prince game because they physically cannot play it. If you don't know, this is a Womp Womp. This is Frank the Womp Womp, who actually has his own kind of part in the lore of Copperdale and its history as a mining town. Now here at this first part, we'll see that Constance did dress up for the festival. The very, very broad theme of the festival is just time period. As long as you look like you're dressed historically, it's good, because I didn't want to get too specific on the time periods, and it's too much, honestly, with like the items that we have in game. So just look historical, and these two clearly don't. So we need to go ahead and get them dressed for the festival. So over here, this is a look at what the festival grounds currently look like. If you've been following the mod update videos, you'll know this is not a version that you've probably seen. You've probably seen the one over in Prescott Square. But for this release, I'm making 2 versions, and it's going to be a save file that is going to include the version over in Prescott Square, and it's also going to include a version that has everything here on this lot. And it's probably because I made the lot second, but if I'm being completely honest, I do like the one on this lot better than the one in Prescott Square. I think I'll be uploading a speed build of me putting this together at a future date, but this is what it's currently looking like, and I think it looks gorgeous. So one thing about this mod is that it is pack limited, so it's only going to be using high school years, Get Famous, and Crystal Creations, with a few exceptions here or there, and the rest is going to be CC made by me. So one of the exceptions is actually over here, and it is this camera area here. So I modded this camera to take advantage of Ravishing's one of their photo mods. I'll go ahead and link that in the Patreon page as well. I've done it before. So yes, you'll have to have that mod in order to make this dependent. And then this one right here is just full on Ravishing's mod, because I think it would be cute to go ahead and turn our photos taken here into Polaroids, in which we could use using this mod. I'm gonna go ahead and have my Sims make their way over here as well as a group, because here you'll see the other exception, which is the get to work. I used the get to work mannequins over here to have your Sims have an opportunity to go ahead and change into outfits while at the festival, so they could go here and purchase their own outfits here. But of course, if you don't have that, don't want to use it, over here I have a mirror for your Sims to use as well to make new outfits. I have this dressing thingy from Get Famous, and then this dresser over here from Get Famous as well, for you to be able to go ahead and dress your Sims up for the festival. So for these two, I'm just going to go ahead and have them go over here and purchase an outfit off the mannequin. While we're here, we also have a chance to show off one of the smaller mods, and you may or may not recognize this table and this one over here, but they're actually the sales tables that come from Crystal Creations, but I've gone ahead and modded them to be buffet tables instead. So here you'll be able to go ahead and serve some different food items over here. The same with this table over here. Before they did have, of course, a price tag to them, but I thought that it would just be too much for if you want to stock tables, like the price was kind of crazy and added up quick. So I just made them all free because in other games you'll be charged and spending different things at the festival. So yeah, that's one of the mini mods you can go ahead and use here as well. Now we could go ahead and make our way to this photo backdrop, and I'll call everyone over here. So this is an item that actually comes with high school years, but I just did a recolor of it to match the vibes of the Copperdale Festival. One other thing I realized here is that your Sims can naturally pose for pictures, which is why I set it up here. However, what I did not realize until later, don't talk to strangers. And that's a grown woman. No, thank you. Okay. Is that children actually can't pose in front of the thing for some reason. So I'm not really sure why that's a thing, but that's okay because we still gonna get these pictures done. I think that turned out pretty cute. Okay, but it's now time to move on because we have a lot of things to go through, but cute picture. Okay, so we now have the trio over here back at the entrance because there is a couple more things we need to do. Okay, so first off, I do have another small mod to show off, and now I have overridden the Jasper Prescott statue, so now when your Sims go on it, they have an option to read the plaque, and when they read it, they'll go ahead and get the story of the lore of Jasper Prescott anytime you want to look back at it. Look, I'm sorry. Over here, we also have the Copper Moon Festival info board, and we'll find that over here at the front and at the back of the festival over here. Okay, and then here's the pop-up notification for the story of Jasper. And then over here, you'll get a lot of general information about the festival. For example, you can learn about all of the activities offered, or at least all of the main ones offered, learn about the main areas, and then as well as the hidden collectibles to go ahead and explore the festival. So after your sim is done reading the info board, they'll get a notification over here for each and every one, and it's going to tell you some information that you should know. So here I chose to read about the hidden collectibles. So it says, hidden around the festival grounds are 10 unique Womp Womp inspired collectibles for you to discover during your visit. Exploring with the group? No problem. Someone added an extra 0 to the order, so there are plenty of collectibles to go around. So each of your household can get one. It's not like when you find it, it disappears. So everyone in your household can grab one. But moving on, there seems to be a sim here who's been going ahead and standing at the entrance for a while, and it looks like she wants to get our attention. So here we have this sim, and her name is Yvette Clement, and she is a Womp Womp expert. So if we go over here, we can click on her and then get the option to start the Frank's Footsteps activity. So if you go ahead and click on here, we have that option for your sim to go ahead and start on it and start fulfilling that activity, which is actually one of the holiday traditions we have going over here, which is to complete the story of the ancient Womp Womps. And also, while we're going ahead and talking to the Womp Womp expert, Noel can't help but notice something shining over here. And it looks to be like a rock formation of some sort. So we're going to go over here and click on it and press collect. So we can go ahead and check out what it's about. But on Constance's end, she's gone ahead and finished talking to the Womp Womp expert, and we have this notification here that says you're invited to retrace the legendary journey of Frank the Womp Womp using clues left across 3 key festival sites: the Crystal Cave, the campsite, and the fort. Each area hides a piece of mystery. By completing all 3, you can return to me and make a final choice. What kind of creature do you believe Frank and the Womp Womps really are? So here in her inventory, after you make that interaction, you'll go ahead and get this journal, which is actually our Womp Womp tracking journal. So this is a journal provided by the Womp Womp expert to help keep track of all the clues found in the exploration of the festival. As Sims explore each area of the festival, they will fill up the journal with notes of their discoveries. So that is actually true of the journal. Right now, when we click on it, we only have one row option here, and that is to open the front page. Here it is. So this is the very first page of the journal. And as I previously said, as you explore different phases of the journal and get different clues that may kind of allude to who the Womp Womps were and where Frank specifically, you can go ahead and gather different information to fill up your journal. And then at the end, you'll make a decision about who Frank the Womp Womp was. So it'll be easier to show you than to tell you. So we are going to go through one of the spots together and kind of see what that journal notebook page looks like. And then in regards to Noel here, he got this collectible over here, which as previously mentioned is one of 10 unique ones. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this down on the table. So this right here is one of the unique Womp Womp collectibles your Sims could go ahead and get. And if you collect all 10 hidden throughout the festival, you'll actually learn the story of the first ever sighting of the Womp Womps actually. This is a story that is included, or this is a story that is alluded to in one of the objects in the game, but I went ahead and filled in the blanks of that very first encounter. So if you go ahead and hover over the Womp Womp collectible, you'll see that this is actually 3 of 10, so it's a 10-part story. And we could go ahead and read this first one. So it says part of the limited edition Copper Moon Festival collection. And it says, luckily, this wasn't my first run with the team, nor Chloe's. Our families had been here since the beginning, helping Mr. and Mrs. Prescott build Copperdale. Buck and I handled the digging while Lena and Chloe cleared the debris. Old Man Hart, Mineshaft's oldest hand, watched the timber supports. Looking back, it should have been me. So that is part 3 of 10 of the collectible. And again, you could go ahead and collect all 10 while you're here at the festival. So I'm going to have the team go ahead and walk over here together to go ahead and head to one of the first sections we're going to explore for the Copper Moon Festival. But as we walk past, we're going to go ahead and run into this section over here. And this is significant as this is actually one of the other mods, or the bigger game mods included in this, as this is the Frog Prince, which actually is our child exclusive game right here. And this is run by our game runners Sadie and Samuel Sover. So throughout the festival, we'll basically have 3 types of animated deco sims. You have our shopkeepers, you have our game runners, and then you also have people who are part of the story of the Frank's Footsteps, or the story of the ancient Womp Womps, if you will. So these ones are game runners, but unfortunately, they're too busy talking to each other to actually be running the game. Fortunately, though, we don't need them as the game is set right here. If you would like a deep and in-depth explanation of the game of the Frog Prince, I actually made a video about it on my channel already and showing my journey of putting the game together from scratch. But we can go over level 1 together, and that is called the First Leap. So I'm gonna go ahead and have good old Kieran come over here and pause to go ahead and play the game real quick. As one thing important to mention, that when you beat level, or if you make it to level 2 or level 3, you have the option of winning this frog here. If you make it to level 2, you get a common frog, but if you make it to level 3, you actually get a rare frog. And I have made a very small override mod for these frogs as well, as now they're not just decoration, but when your sim wins them, they'll actually have the option to name them. Hold up, I'll shoot real quick. Dang it. You'll actually have the option to name the pet frogs, and actually your child sims will be able to be nice to the pet frogs, or be mean, like this sim over here. Additionally, when your child sims talk to them, they'll also have the chance to form a relationship bar with them, like as you see below. It's not something I dived into to add a lot of features to, but I think that is pretty cool in and of itself. So these two frogs in game at the least are gonna have a bit more of actually acting like a pet. But we're gonna go ahead and move on here. First, so it says the story of love, frogs, and awkward poetry awaits. You'll be helping a young Jasper Prescott win the heart of the mysterious Tia through guts, charm, and amphibians. Are you ready to play? Of course we are. So if you continue, we're officially at level 1. And it says Jasper was nervous. He'd spotted Tia sitting on the blanket, reading a book about a family of frog entrepreneurs, a woman after his own heart. So naturally, he panicked. In a burst of inspiration or desperation, he caught a frog to gift her. Problem was, mid-sentence the frog leapt from his hands and landed directly in her lap. Now it's time to roll. Will Jasper look cool, or just like a guy who throws amphibians at strangers? So our challenge is to run and roll the dice and hope we get an even number, or to take a chance on our social skill to charm Tia with a weird yet sincere apology. So if your child sim has a level 5 and up, it'll actually you could bet on the skill, but I'm pretty sure my man has a level 4. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll the dice, and we lost. But it says, it seems you had neither luck nor the skill to pull off such a feat. Tia blinks, Jasper sweats, then he picks up the frog, chuckles, and walks off with a casual see you later. Yeah, so it's definitely a game of chance. So because we lost at level 1, he gets nothing, but you always have the opportunity to play for a crisp 50 simoleons. Over here, we have Constance going ahead and talking to this sim, whose name is actually Ariel Bauer, who's a retired miner. And above the interactions, this is going to give you a quick reminder to go ahead and grab a Womp Womp tracker journal from the Womp Womp expert first, which we already have right here. So I'm going to go ahead and have her go ahead and talk to the Womp Womp expert. And I'm actually going to have Noel come over here and talk to this sim instead. And his name is Ben Donahue. This is also another one of my game runners. So you can go ahead and read how to play, but for this one, I feel like it's pretty intuitive what's going on. But it's a game of chance and simoleons. So I'm going to go ahead and have my sim Noel bet a fair sum. So we're going to put 200 simoleons on the line, and then we're going to go ahead and play Crystal or Coal. Meanwhile, over here, Constance has finished talking to our retired miner, and it says, oh, you're on a journey looking for old Frank the Womp Womp, eh? Not many people believe such creatures ever existed, but I do. You see, round these caves exists a rare crystal the Womp Womps once loved. Bring me one, and you just might have I just might have some information for you. So around the Crystal Cave area, we actually have these different dig piles where we could find the caves or the ancient crystal that he's looking for. So I'm gonna have my sim go ahead and click on it and begin searching for the dig pile. So this is also a thing of chance that you can do with your sims here. Oh, okay, now it's time for Noel. Okay, so it looks like Noel has started playing the game, and it says, all right, folks, the bets are in, the stakes are set, it's time to play the game. Before you go sticking your hand in yonder box, tell me this. Will it be a crystal or coal? So in front of him, we have a time capsule, and it's over here as well. So basically the game is for your sim to stick their hand blindly into the time capsule and bet on whether they're going to pull out a crystal or a coal. So I'm actually going to bet on the crystal, and we did it. So it says, well, looks like luck's on your side. Go on now and claim your prize, and don't be shy to try your luck again. So I'm going to gather our winnings. We had young Noel bet 200 simoleons, but because we won our bets, we have this crystal that sells for 400 simoleons, and basically that's how the game works, and you could just bet different amounts that you would like to play each time, and then if you would lose your bet, you lose the amount if you lose the game, you lose the amount you bet. If you've watched my mod update videos, you know how obsessed I got over this game, but I have since reformed, okay? And it looks like she has great luck because she found it. I'm thinking of there is I believe it's a 50-50, I can't remember, chance of your sim going ahead and finding the crystal in the dig pile. So if they can't come up with nothing, I'm considering going ahead and putting a shift click cheat on the dirt pile to have you be able to cheat the crystal, but it's not implemented in the game right now. But either way, she will get this moodlet down here that says glowing claw. May have dirtied the clothes in the process, but Constance found the rare glowing claw crystal and can now show it to the old miner. So as long as she has this buff down here, she'll have the option to go ahead and click on Ariel and show him the glowing claw. Over here, we also got a notification that says Constance feels really dirty, but also really satisfied she was able to find the glowing claw crystal. But I'm going to go ahead and show the retired miner the crystal. Okay, so Constance has finished talking to the retired miner, and it says, "Oh, you actually found it? Well, what are you doing over there? Bring it here so I can have a good look at it under the light." Oh dearie, do you see that claw marking there? That's a sign of the Womp Womp. So after having that discussion, Constance will go ahead and get this buff right here that says she has fully explored the crystal caves. Constance has talked to the retired miner and officially explored everything there is to find at the crystal caves. All notes about the area have been added to the Womp Womp tracker. So now when I click on the tracker, I'll have another option, which is now the crystal cave. So my sim will have updated her journal on everything she learned from the crystal caves, and you'll see that here. And here's a translation from Simlish to English over here over on this side. So there are 3 areas for your sims to explore: the crystal caves here, the campsite over here, and the fort over here. And each time your sim explores a different area and talks to the NPC a part of that area, be it Kareen, the festival volunteer, or Isaac the disgruntled teen, your sim will have to perform an activity for them and then unlock another page in the notebook. When your sim unlocks all 3 pages, they'll have access to a secret last page, which will then help them in making their decision when they visit the Womp Womp expert. Now you'll see those additional interactions pop up only when your sim has fully explored all 3 options. So if they haven't, you'll just have this option. But once your sim has fully done that and unlocked all the pages of the notebook, you'll have another option to make your final decision about who the Womp Womps were and who Frank was as well. Moving on over here, right behind the story of the Frog Prince, we have our other mod to go ahead and show off, and that is the frog area over here. I mean, the frog area? No, that is the shopping area. And over here, we'll see our 3 different shopkeepers. With Miss Ingrid over here, you'll be able to find different treasure maps, which actually are a base game item, which will help you be able to dig more rare collectibles found around the world. Over here with Rick, he'll actually be selling the celestial crystal helmets, I believe they're called, which are on the table, and they come with Get Famous. And he'll also be selling crystals as well. When your sim slots the crystals into different crystals into the helmets, to go ahead and get different buffs. And then finally over here with Luca Little, your sims will be able to buy different gems off of him that come with crystal creations. And then they'll also be able to buy their very own crystal charging mat so that your sim can charge said gems and the jewelry they make over there in the moonlight. But before we move on, I would like to have my 3 go ahead and take another picture in a little photo op area we have over here at the campsite. I swear every time I try to make a household to play with, I lose interest, but with these mod showcase households, I fall in love with them so quickly. They look adorable. Okay, and then as we make our way over here to this area of the festival, we have yet another mod to go ahead and go over. So this sim right here is named Rose Devlin, and she's actually another game runner of the festival, and her game is the mystery chess game. So I'm actually gonna have little Kieran go ahead and talk to her and chat her up and ask about the activity. So after talking to her, we got this notification here that says, "Hi, I hope you're enjoying your time around the festival. I am the mystery chest game runner. We have several log chests sprinkled around the festival, each with limited edition figurines hidden inside them. Sure, I have codes to unlock them, but I'm not just gonna give them to you. Have some fun. To get those codes out of me, you're gonna have to have the skills of a miner. Everyone knows a miner's gotta be a little handy, and if they don't want to get lost, some logic as well. And an experienced miner will also have a bit of creativity and a copper tongue. Well, silver. So if you didn't notice, each of these little keywords in there alluded to a different skill your Sim's gonna have to unlock the chest. Now, since child Sims experience skills a little differently, I've aligned each of them with one of the fundamental skills they have, so you don't have to like max these in order to start working on the regular skills or however that works. Luckily, my Sim is pretty skilled, so we can go ahead and unlock some right away. If your Sim has no skills, then this item won't pop up, but since mine does, we can. And I'm going to go ahead and unlock chest number 4, which we get from having charisma or a high social skill, which we do, since you only need level 2 for each. I initially had it at 3, but then I was playtesting with Sim with no skills, and I decided 2 was probably going to be better for that. If your Sim doesn't have these skills, I have different items sprinkled around the festival for your Sim to go ahead and level up in them. So going ahead and getting the code from Rose Devlin, we'll get this pop-up here that says Karen has just been told the code to unlocking the first chest. Better get on that while Karen still remembers it. And then over here it says it appears the Sim has been told the code to unlock a chest at the Copperdale Festival. So when your Sim no longer has the buffs, they actually will forget the passcode to unlock a chest, but then they'll still have the skill. So you can still come back and ask Rose Devlin. So right now we have the key to unlocking code 4. This right here is actually chest 4, which you can see when we hover above it right here. So this will actually comes from Get Famous, but I have messed with the tuning for it to make it so that it actually has the same abilities as the wishing well that comes from the Romantic Garden stuff pack. So you have the ability to make a wish or make an offering to better your chances of your wish. So it is fully functional. However, if you don't have this pack, it'll just be a decorative wishing well. So it's not that big of a deal. And over here from the chest, our Sim has gotten this little, what is it? This little figurine, which is Jasper's shack figurine. So if you know a little bit about the lore of Copperdale, actually in the main area, which is Prescott Square, they say that you can see Jasper's shack where he actually lived. So if you complete all of the chest activities and unlock all of them, you'll actually get 4 little figurines. We'll see that up here. My Sim has now fulfilled that tradition of opening at least 1 mystery chest at the Copperdale Festival. Okay, so we have gone over a lot of things about all there is to do at the Copperdale Festival, but there actually, girl, who you talking to? But there actually is a couple more things for us to go over before we're done. Old man, you do need to back up. Like you need to back up. This is a teenager. Okay, move, please, move. Where's Noel? Noel, we need help. So if we had instead taken this turn at the beginning of the festival, we would have seen that over here we actually have our fortune teller Sim over here, which is one of the final holiday traditions that we have yet to go over, which is getting our fortune told. So over here we have this Sim, and her name is Morgan Stover. She's our fortune teller and a game runner. So I'm actually going to have Noel be the one to go over here and start to get his fortune told. And right here we'll see it's the beginning of the reading costs 50 simoleons, and then actually getting our fortune is going to cost 100 simoleons for a total of 150 simoleons because the girl got to get her coin. Let her be. So over here it says, I felt your energy approaching before you even stepped into the square. The winds whispered, the ground trembled, and the stars blinked in warning. Before I can tell you what they said, I must ask you 3 things. Simple, yes, but nothing is simple once the veil is lifted. And so carefully, the fortune you receive is always already watching you. So first it's going to say, what season were you born in? So if you remember this about your sim, you could of course actually go ahead and pick which one. If you don't have seasons, you could read them and pick which one. It's really up to you, whichever one you would like. But my sim is going to be born in the spring. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that. Next, it says, desire shapes destiny. What do you crave in your bones, not just in thought, but in spirit? Power, change, the thrill of the unknown, or something clearer, purer, a truth long buried? So I'm gonna say that my sim is actually looking for change. I think that he has a pretty big age gap between him and Kieran, and then his stepmom is also pregnant with 3 more children. He also has a strict parent dynamic with his dad. I think he really just wants to get out of the house, not because he doesn't like his family. I think he really cares about his family a lot. He absolutely adores his little brother Kieran. I think he just doesn't want to be trapped in the house, if you will. He doesn't want to be like the babysitter for 3 young children. Like, he knows his parents are going to need help, but he's like, I'm not trying to be the one. Like, I want to go out, I want to do things and try things for the first time. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pick change for him. And then our last question is, which word speaks to you? Now, clearly to us, this just looks like a bunch of gibberish, but we need to pick the word that speaks to us because we don't know what the fortune teller clearly does. So I'm going to say that this one speaks to us. Then we're going to go ahead and actually ask for our fate, which is going to give us, which is going to give her 100 simoleons. So let's go ahead and do that. We could talk after, bestie. Or maybe she came to hear our fortune. Constance is nosy as heck, so she wants to stay and listen. Okay, so we have our fortune, and it says, I smell fresh earth and just something beneath it, like a thought trying to sprout. She taps her long fingernails on the table, as if coaxing something invisible to rise. So press OK. And our fortune says, new blooms always replace what's been picked. Let them. Yet beneath every blossom, thorns remember what was lost. Okay, so maybe that's gonna like represent his relationship with his father, or maybe that the thorniness of that with the strict family dynamic, and maybe him leaving, it's not gonna be on good terms. Maybe his dad is like, you have a responsibility to the family, or maybe it's like maybe it's going to be like a scar there, him leaving. Like, it's not going to be a peaceful exit. Or maybe he's going to just like stop reaching out to his family, and it's going to be like a severance there when he leaves. He's not going to stay in contact with his brother like he should. I don't know. And then it says a new self awaits, and it may not be gentler than the last. Because I would say right now he's very gentle. His family means a lot to him. Both his stepmother and his dad are family oriented. He's very gentle now with his brothers. But maybe when he grows a lot, but he grows like in the wrong direction, if you will, if there is a wrong direction. But right, maybe he grows into some, I'm going on too long, but you know what I mean? Like, it's there. But I don't think he'd like to hear this at all. I think it would make him very upset. So we're actually gonna say that doesn't sound like me at all. And when he does this, he actually gets a sad buff down here. And it says that doesn't sound like me from the fortune telling. Maybe that all meant something, maybe it didn't. Either way, you're not about to let someone in a costume tell you who you are or who you're becoming. And then just to rub it in, I'm kidding, but just for your Sims to be able to remember it, of course, they also go ahead and get this fortune teller outcome card, and it basically just says the same fortune that your sim just got, just in case you need a reminder, just for them to remember, or maybe they really liked it and they can hang it up on their wall somewhere. But you go ahead and take this home with you. I imagine this would be like hella awkward with Constance standing here and listening to the fortune he just got told. Okay, so at this point in the video, I believe we have officially explored all that I've wanted to go ahead and show of the Copper Moon Festival and the Copperdale Festival Mod Pack. I feel like we went through a lot, but I also feel like there's so much more that I didn't dive into that I would really want you guys to explore, and hopefully you like it. I think going into this, my goal was to just make a Sims 4 festival that actually had you and your Sims have fun at, and I definitely enjoyed this way more than the Sims 4 festivals that we usually get. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but the business and hobbies festivals, like, oh, they're booty. But that's not the point of this. I had so much fun going ahead and putting this mod together over the last couple months, and I hope that you guys have fun playing it as well. I'm not sure when this video will be dropping, but the model should be dropping within the next couple of days, as there are some tweaks I realized I want to make when making this video. But however, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. This is Sharisi again, and I will go ahead and see you guys later.